because you can't see me. Feet together, toes out to the corners of the room, heels out to meet them. Just double check that your feet are in line with knees are in line with hips. Soft knees. Checking that pelvis is aligned, so we're going to rock that pelvis all the way back to 100. Tipping it all the way forward, back to 0, and then we're going to find the neutral spine at 50. So checking in with that core. We want to check that that belt's wrapped around the waist at notch number 3, or if not, then we're going to use the magnets and use them to draw up through the centre, so engage in the centre. Popping both hands on the rib cage, releasing any tension through the shoulders, closing the eyes and feeling the ground under your feet. Taking 3 nice deep breaths in. So inhale, really feel those lungs open into the sides against those sponges, and exhale, squeezing all that air out. Another deep breath in. Keeping the core engaged whilst breathing at the same time. Trying to check in with the body, making sure that you're using the full foot to keep you balanced, both feet together. Inhale again. Good. Nice squeeze out, release any tension through the shoulders. Shaking the hands out, we're going to roll the shoulders up towards the ears, squeezing all the tension out. Taking them back and pinching the pencil between the shoulder blades at the back. And again, shaking up to the shoulders. Sorry, shaking the shoulders up to the ears. And then taking a few big circles. Good. And then whenever you're ready, once they've come down, we're going to take them the opposite direction. Taking them all the way up, scooping them up, and stretching the pecs at the front by stretching the shoulders out of the back. Couple more. Good. Still keeping that core engaged, making sure that you're checking in with the feet still. Last one, that direction. We're going to do one big circle all the way back, making sure that they come together at the back. Soft shoulders, so relax them down, open chest. Head on top of the shoulders, so imagine you've got that piece of string pulling you up to the ceiling. Nice long spine. Can you see me all okay? I feel like you're a little bit further away than usual. Can you see me okay? Okay. So we're going to come up, taking the weight of the body into the toes, just gently to start with, waking the feet up a little bit, making sure you're distributing through both feet and then coming up again. Good. Just gently floating up, core still engaged through the centre, making sure that you're still checking in with those shoulders and they're not rising up to the ears as you're rising up on the feet. Okay. Now we're going to add in a breath, so breathing in to come up and then exhale to come down. Lovely. And again, coming up with breath. Core still engaged, centre still involved in the situation. And then back up to the top again. Well done. Then whenever you're ready, we're going to take the arms up when we float up. Lovely. And then floating down. Good. Just a couple to wake the shoulder blades up. Really focus on making sure the shoulders aren't rising up to the ears. They keep stable at the back of the body. Lovely. And again, checking in with the core to make sure that's not cut out whilst concentrating on the shoulders. Have a couple. Core still engaged. Last one, coming up onto the tiptoes. Well done. So when we come back down again, we're going to add in another extra step onto this one. We're going to inhale to rise up, exhale to come down with the arms by the sides. Good, really opening at the back of the shoulders again. Inhale to come up, exhale to float down. And a couple more. Inhale, floating up, exhale, floating down. And again, coming up. Last one just there. Exhale, floating down. Well done. We're going to do some ballet with this, whichever leg you feel comfortable. I'm going to go with my right leg today. So taking the heel up off the floor, core engaged through the centre and grounding yourself through this other leg. Taking the arms to the side, shaking the intention up. Don't allow the shoulders to start to rise as we kind of grip hold of the movement. Making sure it's nice and flowing. So inhale at centre. Exhale to take that leg forward. I'll come to the side forward. Inhale side, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale side, Inhale back. Good, really make the breath work. So whenever you feel like you need to exhale, we move the leg. Inhale, take the leg to the side. Exhale, take the leg back. Really work with the breath. Again, inhale forward. Exhale side. Inhale forward. Good, and last one, inhale forward. Exhale side. Inhale back. Good. Lovely. Taking that back to the centre, shaking the legs up. Swapping over onto the other side. Taking a breath in, making sure you're grounding through that foot, core engaged. Inhale at centre. Exhale, taking the foot forward. Inhale side. Exhale back. Well done. Again, making sure that you're taking enough breath and you feel like whenever you're ready to move the leg, the breath is moving the leg. Exhale side. Inhale back. Core still engaged. Good. Checking in with them shoulders, making sure they're not rising up. Nice and relaxed through the upper body. The trick is to try and get all of those things together at the same time. Last one, so whenever you're ready, wherever you are with your breathing, inhale or exhale, side and back. Last one there. Good, shake those legs out. We're taking it onto the other side, back onto this other leg. You're going to go into a pointed foot, so heel off the floor, pointing onto the toe. We're going to add in the arm with the leg, so when you come forward with that leg, we're going to take the balance out by taking the arm to the side, forward, side, taking it back to stretch through that pec. Good. Back to centre. Inhale at centre, exhale, forward. Inhale, side, exhale, back. Well done. Inhale, forward. Exhale, side. Inhale, back. Last one. Inhale, forward. Exhale, side. Inhale, back. Good. Well done. Shake those legs out, arms out. We're swapping onto the other side. Grounding yourself through that leg. Core engaged through the centre, shoulders soft. Inhale at centre. Exhale forward. Inhale side. Exhale back. Good. Inhale forward. Exhale side. Inhale back. Good. Last two. Inhale forward. Core engaged, shoulders soft. Good. Inhale back. Inhale, exhale forward, sorry. Inhale side. Well done. Last one there. Good. Shake those legs out. So we're going to do a twist, like a bit of a rotation to get the body open. We're going to take the legs a little bit wider than hip distance apart. So like bending the knees so that we've got a nice base to work with. We're going to take both arms by the sides. We're going to take one arm back and one arm forward, twisting round to the side. So almost like you're stretching to pick something up off the floor without bending them knees too much. We're going to open the body by coming up and reaching out into like a star shape. Taking the head and then looking over into the hands. We're going to again come down, folding over that other hip to open through that side. And then moving up into the corner, opening through the chest. Inhale, coming down. Exhale, folding out. Good. Really feel like each one is getting a little bit bigger, so you're able to open up with that chest a bit more. Inhale, forward and down. Exhale, stretching out. And looking into that hand, so the neck's getting a nice twist as well. Last one, inhale, down. Exhale, looking through into the open chest. Good. Swapping the hand over, shaking any tension out. We're going to take this other hand, we're going to take it and reach down to the opposite foot. Good. Inhale at the bottom, exhale to open and look up into the hand. Good. Nice twist through that hip. Inhale down, taking the other arm up and over, so you're kind of opening like a star. Good, and then exhale to stretch through. If you can, stretch a little bit further back. And again, sweeping down. Inhale, exhale to open. Well done. Lovely, last one, inhale down. Good, exhale, reaching up. Last one whilst we're standing, we're going to get some movement through the arms. I want you to imagine that your hands are both in like a bucket of sand. We're going to start to draw circles in the sand with the hands. Again, making sure that the shoulders are down and away from the ears so that they're moving from the correct part of the body, not rolling forward. So making them circles in the sand a bit bigger. Good. And then if you can, getting them even bigger. Just getting a bit of resistance behind the arms so that we feel like we're making the movement controlled. Good. And again, just a few more circles, just getting them as big as you can get them. Lovely. Keeping that core still engaged, not allowing the rib cage to start to pop up. Keeping that core connected through the centre. Last two. 1. Good. 2. Well done. Shaking the arms out. Coming into roll down. Coming to the end of the mat. Good work. Setting yourself up at the end of the mat, so making sure them knees aren't too stretched. Core's engaged, pelvis tucked under, shoulders away from the ears. Grounding yourself through your feet. And then heads reach into the ceiling, so you're lengthening through the spine. Inhale at the top. Exhale, squeezing all the air out, tucking the chin to chest, bending the knees and tucking the pelvis under, rolling down towards the knees. Good. And then whenever you're ready with bending the knees, just a little bit more, and then tucking the pelvis and to roll back up again. Good. Inhale at the top. Exhale. This one's just a little bit longer. So just find the tension, the point of tension where you feel like you need to roll back up again. And whenever you're ready, start to break that tension up by rolling back up again. Good. Inhale at the top. Exhale. Bend the knees, tuck the pelvis. Allow that head to go floppy, arms to go floppy. We're rolling down. Good. And then whenever you're ready, engaging those legs, tucking the pelvis, and then rolling back up again. Lovely. Now again, inhale at the top. Exhale. Chin to chest. Bend the knees, tuck the pelvis. We're going to come into downward dog at this point. So whenever you feel comfortable and ready, taking opposite hand to opposite elbow, floppy head, floppy arms, and then allow that back to start to stretch out a little bit. If it's starting to pull a little bit on the back, then bend the knees even more. Allow your belly and waist to open up to get a bit more pivot in the knees. Good. Well done, ladies and gents. Okay, so shaking from side to side, get a little stretch through the kind of lumbar back a little bit more. Good. Just a nice gentle rock from side to side. Good. And then whenever you're ready, we're rolling back up. So engaging the knees, bending the knees, tucking the pelvis, rolling up into standing. Opening the chest at the top. On the next one, we're going to come down onto the mat, so weight into the toes and then walking the hands into downward dog. Inhale at the top. Exhale, tucking the chin to chest, bending the knees. Rolling that spine, tucking the pelvis. Coming forward onto the toes and then weight into the hands, walking the hands into downward dog. Head heading towards the elbows, so pushing that floor away, and then walking the heels out. Stretching through the hamstrings and the calves, and the back of the shoulder blades. Good. Whenever you're ready, we're going to come back up into a roll up. So hands walking back towards the feet. Bending the knees, tucking the pelvis, rolling that vertebrae back up to the top. Last one, inhale up. Exhale down. Squeeze all the air out. Allowing that pelvis to tuck under. And then walking the hands into tabletop position. So dropping the knees down to the mat. Feet should be flat, the back of the feet should be flat on the floor. Hands directly underneath shoulders and setting the knees up so they're directly underneath hips. Keeping that core engaged through the centre. We're going to do a little bit of cat-cow, so just allowing a bit of flexion through the spine. So whenever you're ready, we're going to point that arrow in the pelvis all the way up to the ceiling at 100 and then take the eyes up to the ceiling. Inhale at centre, so back to flat back, neutral spine. Exhale, tuck the pelvis under to 0, drop the head down towards the hands. And then inhale back to flat back. Exhale, stretching through that lower back and allowing a bit of flexion in the spine. Belly button to the floor. Inhale back to flat back. Exhale, tucking the pelvis under. Dropping the head down towards the floor. Good. Last one, inhale to flat back. Exhale, looking up at the ceiling and then dropping the belly button to the floor. Well done. A little bit of going back to flat back again, sorry guys, and then we're going to just do a little bit of thread the needle. So whenever you're ready, we're going to inhale, take the arm up to the ceiling to stretch through the pec. Good. Exhale, threading that hand through the opposite arm and stretching through the back of the shoulder blade. Good. Coming back up, so breathing in to come up to the ceiling. Well done. Exhale, threading the hand through the opposite arm. Well done. Inhale, back up to the top. Last one on this side. Exhale, threading the needle. Lovely. Popping that hand back down. Opening the other shoulder, so make sure you're setting up those shoulder blades away from the ears. And inhale, taking the opposite hand up to the ceiling, looking up to the hand, stretching through that neck at the same time. Exhale, folding through. Good. Inhale, back up. Exhale, folding through. Inhale, back up. Well done. Exhale, folding through. Good. So we're going to come onto the side. So whenever you're ready, popping both hands on the mat and then dropping one hip down onto the floor. Walking one arm out to the side and then using the other hand, the top arm, to keep you balanced. We're going to do a side bend. We did a bit of side bend last week, but I just threw you right in at the deep end. So I'll do a beginner side bend to start with. So we're going to come onto the elbow and we're going to make sure that core is engaged still, so you're not dropping that hip down. We want the hip lifted just still, so the bum's still on the mat, but not enough to allow that waistline to drop down. Lifting up through the core. Bending both knees and checking in that the feet aren't coming too far back. We want the feet in line with the bum, elbow in line with the hip, so you're in a straight line. So top arm comes on top of the hip here, so nice and relaxed. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to push into the knees to lift the bum up off the floor and then lower back down. So it's just getting the side of the body starting to wake up. It's a really small movement. I suppose if you've got longer legs, it looks bigger, but for me, it's just my bum comes up off the floor, feet and knees still stay on the floor, and then lowering back down. Whenever you're ready, we're going to inhale, come up, so arm just comes into star position, and exhale, dropping back down again. Good. Take the elbow in a little bit further in if you need to, just to make sure that you're coming a little bit higher. Inhale up. Good. Glutes engaged, just slightly, core still engaged to keep you in a straight line. Inhale, up. Well done. Exhale, back down. Well done. We're going to add on. So we're going to add on by taking the arm all the way over the top of the head, bending the elbow, back of the hand can touch the head, and then floating back down again. Good. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, dropping back down. Good. So we're working the shoulder blade that's at the bottom by keeping you stable on the floor, because that's a lot of pressure through that elbow and shoulder. We're also working the top of the shoulder on the top to get some movement through it. And we're also working the abdominal muscles as well on the side. So inhale, last one coming up. Exhale, floating back down. Well done. Shaking that elbow up if you need to. Coming back onto that elbow. And again, just checking in with the core, just to check that you're not dropped. We're going to come up, float the arm round in a circle, and then come back down again. Good. Inhale, coming up with the arm, come round in a circle. Good. And then float the arm back down again. Well done. So we're going to just draw a circle, so coming up with the arm leading, and then come full circle round. As it comes back up towards the head, we're going to float that arm back down again. Last one, inhale, coming up. Exhale, float the arm round in a circle. Good. As it comes back round, we float the arm back down again. Lovely. Well done. Shake that shoulder out. Well done. Coming on to the other side. Setting yourself up on the other elbow. Bending both knees. Checking in with feet, hips, elbow all in line with each other. Making sure that elbow is directly underneath the shoulder blade. And then whenever you're ready, we're just going to start very simply by lifting the bum up off the floor to start with, to wake the shoulder up, and then drop it back down. So we're going to inhale, lift up. Exhale, float down. Still keeping that core and the center engaged so that you don't drop down too much into that shoulder. Lifting up and then releasing back down again. Good. Again, inhale, coming up. Exhale, floating down. We're going to add in the arm. So whenever you're ready, inhale, floating up with the arm. Exhale, floating down. Well done. Lifting up again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, floating up. Exhale, floating down. Well done. Last two. Inhale up. Exhale. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale down. Well done. Shake that shoulder out if you need to. Well done. Now whenever you're ready, you're going to add in that floating up with the arm, full circle to exhale. And then as it comes up, we float back down again. So whenever you're ready, inhaling, coming up. Exhale, floating the arm round in one full circle. And then floating back down again. Good. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, floating around. Inhale, coming down. Good. Well done. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, floating around. Inhale, floating down. Well done, guys. Last one. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, floating round. Well done. And then inhale, coming down. Well done. Shake that arm out. So to start you off on what we started last week, we're going to come up in a seated position and find them sitting bones, sorry. I'm going to get a bit of water because my mouth's so dry. So feet out in front. And then finding them sitting bones. Last week we started off the side bend. I think I explained taking one foot over the top of the other. I'm going to come a bit closer so you can see me a bit better. Okay. So, finding them sitting bones with feet out in front. And sitting nice and tall. We're going to take one foot over the other. Okay. The foot on the top does not need to be sitting like this just yet. We're just going to take it on top like you're crossing your legs as normal. Now, the bottom hip, the leg that's underneath, we're going to take the weight of the body over onto that one hip. We're going to keep that core engaged through the centre. So we're hitching onto one hip. We're now lifting the arms and we're going to start to turn into the hip that's at the bottom. Okay? So you're keeping balance through that one hip. Good. Opening the chest, shoulders away from the ears. Breathe. And then as we come round, we're going to turn back to the centre, switch the legs over, so opposite foot comes underneath, hitching over to that other hip, still keeping them arms open and balanced, and then open up to the other side. Taking a nice breath in, lengthening through that spine, shoulders away from the ears, and don't forget to breathe. Good. Whenever you're ready, keeping them arms open, nice and balanced, finding the other sitting bone, coming back to centre. And then again, swapping that leg over, lengthening through the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale. Exhale, hitching over onto this other hip. Good. Still keeping nice and open and twisting through that spine. Lengthening through the spine, so lifting up. Core still engaged through the centre, shoulders away from the ears, nice and relaxed through the shoulders. Easier said than done, Chloe. So we're going to come back to centre, we're going to take them arms back into the middle, coming back onto the other sitting bone. Opening, shaking through the legs, shake those legs out if you need to. Are we going to do a little practice round of something that I don't think I've given you the right things to do, but I've not emphasised it enough, really. So if you need to, you can cut the quads out at this point, because we're going to be intently sitting in one position. So take the knees to the sides if you need to. And put the feet together in the centre, lengthening through that spine in the centre. If you feel more than comfortable, you can keep the legs down the side. We're not working with the legs at the moment, so I thought it would be best to cut the quads out. We're going to put the hands together at centre, so not praying. We're just going to touch the fingertips together in the centre and make sure that all the tension in our shoulders is released. So shoulders away from the ears, open chest, lengthening through that spine. Okay. Finding them sitting bones that you look comfortable and that you feel relaxed through the lower body. Good. We're going to inhale at centre. I need to find my own breath. 1 minute. Inhale at centre. Exhale. Relax. Okay. So again, with each breath, just find your breath here at the moment. Find them sitting bones and lengthening through the spine. So your core should still be engaged. Shoulders should be relaxed. And we're just going to do the first part of saw. So saw would normally be, from what I've told you, is arms stretched and then twist and touch the other leg. But what I need to emphasise to you more than anything is the twist from the upper body comes from the bottom of the rib cage. So these hips do not twist. Your bum cheeks should both be still completely cemented to the floor. We twist and we look into the hands. So the gaze, so your eyes are completely fixed and you're just moving from the rib cage. So it's like your thoracic back stretch. So we inhale at the centre, exhale and twist from the middle back. We do not twist the lower back. Good. And then inhale back to centre. Exhale. And just gently, really slowly, nice and controlled, focus on that middle part of your back. So like where the last part of your rib cage, the very last rib is, we want to focus on the movement coming from that part. We're not just focusing on twisting from any part of the back, it is just from that middle part. Good, inhale back at centre. And then exhale to allow the twist to happen to open up that back. Good. Keeping the shoulder blades away from the ears, not allowing them to rise up to the shoulders. Inhale back at centre. Shoulder blades away, core still engaged. Exhale to twist. Well done. And then inhale back. Well done. Lovely. So we're going to do a bit of can-can. So hands coming behind the back, really gently. So find them sitting bones again, coming into bent knees. We're going to find the sitting bones that come back a little bit, finding the tips of the fingers, opening the chest and then lengthening through that spine. So we're not collapsing into the shoulders, we're lifting up through the shoulders, opening the chest. Finding that lower back and then taking the knees in a little bit closer. We're just going to start by doing a twist. So taking the knees over to one side to twist through that one half of the body, taking them back to centre again, lifting and lengthening, and then opening through that middle back. Good. And again, using the core to bring the knees back into centre, and then twisting the other way. Good. Again, I can already feel my shoulders starting to collapse, but making sure that you're not leaning too much into them fingertips, and that you're lengthening through the body. Good. Well done. Last one, the other side. Inhale at centre. Exhale, folding over the other way. Good. Okay, well done. Shaking the arms out, shaking the shoulders out a little bit. We're going to step back up. We're going to do the next step to can-can. So again, finding them tips of the fingers, lengthening through the crown of the head. And we're going to take one side over, flip one leg up, back down, back to centre. Core engaged. Inhale. Exhale. Lengthening through that spine so we're not collapsing into the hands. Picking up that leg. Taking it back. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Lengthening through the spine. Not allowing that back to start to slump. Good. Back to centre. Last one. Inhale. exhale, twist. Good. Well done. Now, rolling back. Going to do a bit of back work. Going to go through each part of the back. So we'll start with the lower back to open up. We're going to go on to the middle back, taking the arms back and over the ball to try and get each part of the spine to start flexing a bit better. Finding that lower back on the sitting bones, finding the feet, and then lengthening through that spine. Arms out in front, shoulders away from the ears, floating those arms out in front. We're going to allow that back to flex, roll over the ball, crown lead in to bring you back up, okay? As the head comes past the pelvis, that's when you straighten your back. Good. Inhale, ball under that neck, so ball under the chin, keeping that neck nice and lengthened. Don't crunch the neck in. We're allowing the lower back to get lost under the sitting bones, rolling over the ball, and then using the core muscles, crown of the head, lengthen through the spine, head leads, and lengthen through that back. Good. Inhale at the top. Exhale, rolling over the ball. Good. Well done. Keeping that neck long, lifting through the crown of the head leads, and as the head comes past the pelvis, you come up into a nice straight back. Good. Inhale at the top. Exhale, rolling over the ball. Good. Well done. And then whenever you're ready, coming back up into a seated position. Lovely. Taking the ball and rolling it back a little bit more. So you want to aim for like bra strap line, middle of the back. Finding that lower back on the floor. Again, we don't want to be laying too much on the ball. We want to keep nice and controlled on top of that ball. We don't just want to collapse on top of it. We're going to open the chest and then relax the shoulder blades. And we're going to take the hands and start to take them up overhead, keeping that core connection as long as your back's not hurting. If your back starts hurting, don't come as far as I am. But we're going to try and open up the middle back by taking that head and the arms back as much as you can without losing the core. And then whenever you're ready, taking the head and hands and bringing it back forward again. Good. Inhale at the top. Exhale, open that chest. Keeping the core connected. So pelvic floor should still be engaged. Making sure that you're taking the head back and hands. Opening through that chest. Lengthening through the crown of the head. And then whenever you're ready, bringing that back up into a seated position. If it's hurting coming too far back, then just go as far as you can to open the chest and come back up again. Inhale at the top. Exhale. Taking the hands on the head. Rolling over that ball. Good. Lovely. And then bringing that back up into a seated position. Okay, whenever you're ready, we're going to take the arms wide, come into circles, opening the chest, keeping the head nice and stable so we're not feeling like you're straining the neck. Tuck, imagine you've got that ball still underneath your chin, and we want to keep nice and controlled through the head so you don't crunch it up. So we're just focusing now on opening the chest and opening the arms. So just sweeping the hands round, opening the chest, keeping that head nice and controlled so we don't flop it back, and then coming forward. Good. Inhale at the top. Exhale, taking the arms out wide, keeping that head nice and controlled. So you're still in like a half crunch, but the ball's helping you with that crunch. Good. Inhale. Exhale, keeping that connection still so that the neck doesn't start to strain too much. If it is, then just stop and come back. Well done. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Open the chest. Core connected still. Arms sweep up to the top. And then over the head to come back to the knees. Well done. Whenever you're ready, we're tucking the hands under the legs. Tucking the chin to chest, but don't crunch in too much. Still keep it nice and light, so the core has to work and not the neck. Leading with the crown of the head to bring you back up into a seated position. Good. Good work. So we're going to work on opening the chest a little bit more, shoulders open. So we're going to take that ball out in front. We're going to open the chest by taking the ball round, behind the back, coming back into that core, and then sweeping back up to bring the ball forward. Good, inhale at the top, exhale, sweeping round, inhale, coming back up. Keep going with that flowing movement, so exhale, ball swaps, inhale, coming forward, exhale, sweeping back. Again, making sure that we kind of come in, the body weight comes back with ball, and the ball just floats around the body. So you're kind of giving yourself a bit of workout through the core and through the shoulders at the same time. Good. Lovely. Couple more. And then we're going to go the opposite direction. You'll have one hand that's more dominant, so it'll be easier one way. Last one that way, we're going to swap over. So coming back, again, still giving that core a workout. Don't cheat, but just coming forward. We're going back with the body and forward. Give that a workout. Well done. Opposite way still. You want to feel your feet still activated through the floor. So you're still using those toes to sort of help grip the floor a little bit. Two more this way. Last one. Good. Taking that ball, popping it between the knees. We're going to do a full roll down to laying down on the mat. So arms out in front, squeezing that ball between the knees. One by one, vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping that core engaged. Don't flop onto the mat, control the movement all the way down. Down to the floor, good. So keeping the ball between the knees, we're going to go up into bridge with the ball between the knees to start with. We're going to keep the feet hand distance from the bum, away from the bum. Setting those feet up so you can feel the toes slightly pushed into the floor. Setting the coccyx up at the lower back. So we're going to rock the pelvis all the way down to 100 and then rock the pelvis all the way up to 0. Let's go for 100 at the top. It makes me feel easier. 100 at the top, 0 at the bottom. Good. We're just going to start with the pelvic tilt to start with to get the pelvis starting to move and the lower back to start to release. So just rocking the pelvis all the way up to 100 and all the way down to 0. Good, just getting that lower back to kiss onto the mat and then taking the pelvis up to take some air through the lower back again. Couple more. Well done. And then release down. So we want 50 out of that 100. We don't want too much of an imprint in the lower back into the floor. Again, like we did with the test with the band, if you had a band through your lower back, we want enough give to allow the band to still flow through. Core engaged, so center active. Shoulders, we're going to float the hands up to the up to the ceiling. We're going to take the shoulder blades up off the mat and then release them down to the floor. Just a couple more just to release through the shoulder blades. Well done. Just a couple. We're going to start doing some shoulder bridges. So activating through the arches of the feet, and so your toes should start to engage into the mat. Glutes, we don't want them firing up just yet, so bum cheeks should be relaxed. We're rocking the pelvis by using the core. So the core muscle should pick that pelvis up off the floor, and as you crawl one by one vertebrae by vertebrae up off the floor, that's when your glutes should start to engage just as they start to come up a bit higher. Good, pushing that ball between the knees. Well done. We're going to roll the pelvis again, roll the back, spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, tucking the pelvis under as you get to the lumbar spine so that you don't come down flat. Last bit to come down is the coccyx. Well done, rocking that pelvis all the way to 0, and then we're rocking it up to 100, picking the pelvis back up off the floor, and then little by little each vertebrae will follow. As you come up, we don't want to come up too high, so shoulder blades, the back of the shoulder blades should still be resting on the mat. But you want to look at yourself in the camera and just double check, if you can see yourself in the camera, that you kind of look like a ski slope. We don't want a pelvis down here. We need that pelvis nice and high, but we want to focus on relaxing the glutes just a little bit. We're not over-recruiting the bum cheeks. So whenever you're ready, we're going to lift the pelvis up. We're going to squeeze one glute. So just, let's say the right glute to start with. We're really squeezing that glute, and then we're releasing that glute. Now again, we're squeezing the left glute really tight. And now we're releasing, but we're still staying nice and high with the hips. Good. Vertebrae by vertebrae, we're rolling that back one by one, all the way down to the floor again. Tucking the pelvis to get the flexion in the lower back. Good. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, set them feet up, toes into the floor, arches activated, rocking the pelvis up to 100. Good. Picking that pelvis up, and then vertebrae by vertebrae. Lift it up off of the floor. Last thing to stay on the mat will be your shoulders, but we want to be a nice high ski slope. So whenever you're ready, we're going to lift one heel up off the floor and then lower that heel back down again. Inhale. Exhale, lift the opposite heel up. Inhale, lower. Keeping them glutes nice and active. Try not to allow that bridge to collapse. Opposite heel up. And then lower. Good. Inhale up, opposite heel. Exhale, lower. Still keeping the hips up. And keep that flow going. 2 more. And then whenever you're ready on that last heel coming up, vertebrae by vertebrae, rocking the pelvis down. Last thing to come down is that coccyx. Oh, ouchie. Well done. And again, inhale at the bottom. Exhale. Rocking that pelvis off the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae. We're rolling up onto the shoulders, lifting them hips. Good. Take a breath. Exhale, lifting one heel up. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift the opposite heel. Inhale, up, down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Last one, inhale, exhale even, lift, inhale, down. Good. Rolling that back, vertebrae by vertebrae. Well done. So on the next one, we're going to take the ball away. Taking it to the side, so get rid of the ball. Setting the feet up. Keeping them knees pushed in. So still imagine you've got that ball there. So you've still got that feedback from the ball. Vertebrae by vertebrae, we're lifting up into bridge. Ski slope position. Hips should be high, glutes should be active, but not over clenching. Take a breath. Exhale. Ready, if you want to continue with lifting the heels, if you want to add on, we're going to lift the heel up. We're going to push through that foot that's still on the floor and take that knee into a back position. Good. Well done. Keeping that hip lifted and then drop back down. Inhale. Keeping them hips nice and high. Exhale, lift that opposite heel and then lift the foot and leg. Good. Taking that foot down, keeping that glute active. Ouchie. Inhale to get yourself some power. Exhale, take the opposite heel up. Pushing through that foot that's on the floor and lifting that leg up. Good. And then allowing that to look relaxed down on the floor. Last one, inhale at center. Exhale, pushing that heel into the floor, taking the other one up. Well done. And then lowering back down. Good. Vertebrae by vertebrae coming back onto the mat. Tucking the pelvis under and then rolling down. Well done. Okay, so we've done loads on the back now. We're going to come around onto the front, so taking the arm out long, bending one knee, pushing that foot into the floor to come onto a side position, all the way around onto the belly. Coming into tabletop position again. We're going to do some swimming on all fours. So checking in with the knees, making sure that we've got a gap between the knees, they're not together at the centre. Hands underneath shoulder blades. Yep. Okay, so inhale at centre, making sure that core is set up in the middle. So core should still be active. We're going to start really easy by keeping the hands still on the floor. So all 4 points, going to keep that core active, pushing everything into the floor. So both hands, both knees. We're going to slide one hand away, keeping the fingertips on the floor, and then keeping them fingertips on the floor to come back in again. Really simple to start with. Just want you to start to warm up the back muscles and trying to get some position in those knees. So opposite hand slides away and then comes back. Good. Again, just making sure that those shoulders don't start rising up as you're moving the hands away. Sliding up. Keeping nice and stable and keeping that breath flowing as well. Well done. So with the breath, we should be using the breath to power the movement. Makes everything a bit more concentrated. Well done. And then back to centre. Whenever you're ready, we're going to use all 3 points that are left on the floor. We don't want to hitch over into that opposite hip. So none of this. We're going to keep the toe on the floor. We're going to keep a complete central point of the body, using everything we've got that's left on the floor to keep that core, the centre point of the body completely still. Taking that toe out to the end of the mat and then bringing it back in. Again, opposite side, inhale at centre, exhale, keeping everything completely still, like you've got a glass of water on that back and you do not want a drop to go. Back to centre, inhale at centre. Exhale, sliding the opposite foot away, keeping that back completely still. Keeping that foot on the floor if you want, or extending it out if you feel like you can. Inhale at centre. Exhale, keeping everything still, sliding that leg away, keeping the toe on the floor, and then back to centre. When you're ready, we're going to add in an extension, so keeping the legs flowing. So you can take that foot up off the floor if you feel like the glutes can take it, and then back to centre again. Again, we're not wobbling to one side, we're keeping everything at centre. Centre, midline of the body, everything stays there. Taking that leg up, good, and then back down again. Inhale at centre, exhale, floating the leg away, lengthening through that foot and pointing the toe. Back to centre, inhale, exhale, no wobbling, no water spilling, floating that leg down, pointing the toe, and then coming back into the middle. Good, last one, inhale. Core engaged, exhale, floating that leg down. Right, good. We're going to go into extension of this if you want to. If not, then stay where you are and just add in opposite hand to opposite leg if you want to do that. But I'm going to add into the legs. We're going to inhale at centre. Exhale. We're going to take the foot, keeping it in a bent position and keeping that body completely still into a bent knee. We're going to point the toe. We're going to point for 1, 2, 3, and then come back down. Now, what tends to happen if this is too much for your body is the core goes, the back arches, the leg comes up, and it's not controlled. We want that core completely switched on through the whole movement. So it does make me shake, that flexion in the hip here, because it's a stretch on the hip. When inhale to set you up, because that will stop the shaking from happening as quickly as it could do. So inhale, taking that nice breath. Exhale, focusing on the hands, taking that knee up, keeping the core engaged, because it's starting to cut out already for me. I have to work extra hard to keep the core working here. So 1, 2, 3, and then floating back down again. Inhale at bottom. Exhale, pushing into the floor, keeping that core nice and stable, floating the foot up to the floor, up to the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, back down again. Inhale. Exhale, pushing down into the floor, pointing that toe, keeping the core engaged, nice and slowly. 1, 2, 3, and back down. If someone's hamstrings are tight, then this is a bugger. Last one, inhale at centre, core engaged, exhale, pushing into the floor, floating the toe up to the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, well done. Going into child's pose, so bum into feet, knees out to the corners of the mat, dropping that bum down. Stretching through the legs. Whew. Well done. Back. So let's go for adding in the arms. So knees underneath hips, core engaged. We're going to go for the swimming position, but we're going to take one opposite hand to opposite leg, lengthening through the arm and leg. and then back to center again. Inhale at center, lowering that knee down. Exhale, taking the opposite hand. Woohoo! Stretching through that hip. So you want to really feel like someone's pulling that foot away from you so you can stretch through that body. Inhale. Exhale, keeping the floor core nice and tight. Good. Back down, inhale. Exhale. Lengthening through the spine. Shoulder blades away from ears. And breath should be relaxed. Back to center, inhale. Exhale, keep going with that, guys. Just keep checking in with your shoulders, checking in with the breath, checking in with the core. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Well done. So we're going to come down onto the mat and we're going to come onto the side. We're going to stretch through the quads. So coming onto the arm, or if you want to grab your ball, then you can for your head. Feet to the end of the mat. If you want to bend that the bottom knee, you can to keep you stable. Top leg comes up to the bum, hand comes towards the foot. Going to lengthen through this quad and just stretch through the quad to start with and hip flex there. Making sure the knee doesn't float up here because you won't be stretching your quad there, you'll be stretching something completely different. So keeping the knees together, popping that hip forward so that it's aiming towards the wall in front of you or towards the camera. We don't want it hinging in because you won't stretch your quad either. Making sure that you're lengthening through that knee, lengthening through the body. Whenever you're ready, we're going to count to 5. We're going to push that foot into the hand. We're going to hold it for 5 seconds and allow that stretch to work a bit more. Take a breath. And then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release and pull that leg in. Pull the foot into the bum. Good. Inhale and exhale just there. Allow that stretch to work. Good. Whenever you're ready, pushing that foot down again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and then pull in a bit more. Oh. Good. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, pushing down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. Pull that foot into the bum. Good. Well done. We're coming on to the front. I want to do a bit of pigeon pose there. So taking that leg up towards the chest and stretching through the hip at the same time as we've just stretched that quad out. Take a breath, allow that hip to relax. Okay, so we're coming on to the other quad. I'm going to swap sides. Okay, so bottom knee can bend, top foot comes up to the bum cheek, hand comes onto that. Good. Making sure those knees come together, hips pop forward. Good. Allow that stretch to work just for a minute and then we'll work on the counting in a sec. Okay, whenever you're ready, guys, I'm going to count, pushing that foot into the hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and pull that in. Good. Taking a breath. Exhale, pushing down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and pull in. Popping that hip out just a little bit more, making sure it's not cheating. And whenever you're ready, taking a breath in. Exhale, pointing that foot away from the bum. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that foot, pulling it in. Good work. Release the foot, shake it out if you need to. Well done. Got a couple more minutes, so if you want to do some belly breathing, we can do that. So taking a seat wherever you want, you can lay down on the mat if you feel comfortable, wherever you want, sit down or whatever. So we are lengthening through the spine, core engaged still, one hand on the belly, the other hand on the rib cage. And then just checking in with the body, so making sure that you've still got that rhythm going. We're going to inhale to expand the belly. Pilates breath free training is breath to the sides of the body here, so sides of the rib cage. It just means that the air gets to the sides and gets really into the diaphragm. And then this is more of a relaxation breath, so this is for the belly breathing to help calm the body. So shaking any tension through the shoulders, we're going to inhale for 5 counts, exhale for 7 counts. Whenever you're ready, close your eyes, take a breath in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've gone the wrong way. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last one. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, we're going to come up onto our feet, coming into tabletop, tucking the toes under, bum up to the ceiling into downward dog, pushing the floor away with the hands and the feet. Well done. Walking them heels out, so we're stretching through the calves again, checking in with the feet a little bit more. And then whenever you're ready, walking the hands up towards the feet. Taking the weight into the heels, bending the knees, tucking the pelvis, rolling the spine up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Last thing to come up is the head. Lengthening through that spine, checking in with the core. Well done, everybody. Thank you very much.